Okay. In theory, everything should be okay. I hope doing the stream yesterday didn't mess anything up. Hello, Lily. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Vin. Hello, Wawa. Welcome. This should be a fairly simple run through today because the Winged Spear is right in the middle of, or the Firelink Shrine Graveyard. It's not even as far back as the Zweihander, so we should just be able to grab that right off the bat. The requirements are pretty low. I want to say 1318, 1316, something like that. So we're gonna level up our strength a tiny bit and then bring up dexterity to 40. Go from there. Should be pretty simple. Yeah. Hopefully this, I don't know, hopefully doing things like getting the large umber doesn't take too long. Hello, Styro. Welcome. Almost. So that YouTube can't censor you. All right. And obviously I started as the thief, which I hardly ever do because the starting stats of everyone else is usually better, but when I'm doing a pure dex playthrough, I feel like it makes sense to start as the thief and then I get to skip most of the asylum. I don't need the bandit's knife. I don't want no, I grabbed that. It won't actually simply happen to be in my inventory this stream. Have to be smarter than the algorithm. I feel like that's not too hard, to be fair. The weapon is very, very easy to acquire, so we don't need to worry about trying to farm for something and have to, like, randomly, supernaturally acquire it or whatever. Try thrusting. Keep thrusting! Hello, Eth. Welcome. But all I have is a bandit's knife and a few black fire bombs. Oh, we are fighting Super Ornstein again. I thought about that last night and then I purged it from my memory because I didn't want to think about it. I don't think I'll use that, but I don't remember what their requirement is, so. Yeah, not going to be cheating basically at all this stream. Maybe a little bit of speed up in like the archive towers or whatever, but got a good. I should probably level up dexterity a little bit first. I think it's 18, but we can two-hand the spear off the bat regardless, so. I was looking through stats and like requirements and movesets and everything. All of the spears are extremely similar. The only difference between a lot of them is the length. Well, the length and damage primarily. And with the winged spear, it has pretty solid length. It's not quite as long as the pike, but because it's pure dexterity scaling, or it's technically quality scaling as E and strength, but it's effectively pure dexterity scaling. So the damage is actually on par with the pike, which is the other highest damaging spear, and it's way easier to get. So technically, if you're going for a quality build, the pike would be a little bit better, but it's so much easier to get your damage out of the winged spear. A normal weapon run, it's been a bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been using kind of rare weapons, but nothing crazy. 16, 15. Oh, I didn't know it was that low. Okay, that's heavy. Heavier than I expected it to be. Is this feminine frame and poor cod armor? Oh, right. True. You can just poke him in the cod piece. The feminine spear. Okay, so I do need to level up strength a little bit just for a post and whatever. Hello, Health Skeller. Welcome. I don't know, I've been excited for this run just because I really like the super basic weapons. I think these are some of my favorite weapons in this game. Like the broadsword is one of my favorites. The halberd, I did not expect to like the halberd because of the moveset, but I actually really enjoyed my playthrough with the normal halberd. The claymore is one of my favorite weapons. You know, but really basic, simple weapons happen to be some of the most fun to use. Made it to Iron Golem before switching. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, with no matter what your stats are, the winged spear is going to have better damage than the spear, which is very strange. It's weird that the winged spear, which is easier to get than the spear, is just better in effectively every way. That's not gonna land. I thought it was. Ornstein and Gwendolyn are a straight trans couple. I see it. I disagree. Oh, that's not what I meant for this. I disagree, but I get it. No, they have the exact same moveset, as far as I know. If it's not exactly the same, it's a very, very similar, and they have the same speed. My first experience with Dark Souls was actually... I want to try something. My first experience with Dark Souls was actually on the Switch, and I really liked it. I don't know if that did it. Maybe? I don't know. Hopefully that freed learn chase. I guess I'll see when I get up there. I would like to be able to do that for the future in runs where I actually want to use like Power Within or whatever. The normal spear is longer? The Partisan does technically have higher damage with a quality build. It's like 20 more AR or something, and it is also slightly longer, but the stat requirement to get that better damage is so much higher. So it's like, I don't know, if most of your damage is coming from a weapon buff anyway, like it might technically be better, but in general, I think it's fair to say the winged spear is better. Hello, Menu. Welcome. Who's the straightest trans couple in Dark Souls, and who's the gayest trans couple? I don't think I have an answer for you off the top of my head. Winged for pleasure. Hi, Lucky Dragon. Welcome. The gayest trans couple is me and my girlfriend when we play the video game together. Me and my girlfriends when we play the video game together. I want to kill this guy. Girl? I want to kill this one just so I can safely free learn chase, because I do want the option to use Power Within. The winged spear is not nearly the longest spear. The demon spear, the demon spear and moonlight butterfly horn are tied for the longest spear in the game. The partisan is also longer, and the silver knight spear is also longer. Okay, I missed completely, but that's okay. Butterfly horn is fake. Yeah, the demon spear and moonlight butterfly horn are not pure physical. So it's understandable that you didn't think of them. But the Silver Knight Spear is significantly longer. The Partisan is also definitely longer. I hate the Spear moveset, by the way. That's going to be my biggest hang-up with this whole run. I hate the Spear moveset. I need to... I don't know. I kind of want a shield poke. I don't know if that's, like, a good idea. Because that's going to require, like, a heavy stamina investment, right? And I don't ever shield in this game anymore. Come on. But like shield poking is the thing with spears, you know? Butterfly horn is 100% magic, yeah? FFC for custom emotes on YouTube? Okay, but why would I want to use custom emotes on YouTube? Besides, like... I don't know. I don't think there are many that I would want to add. I don't need to be here. I don't know. I can't think of any that I would want on YouTube other than like the spray bottle. Bring more life into the chat? I suppose. Silver Knight Spear is your favorite spear in the game? I heavily disagree. Only because the Silver Knight Spear is dramatically underwhelming. I really do not like the Silver Knight Spear. I don't like the Silver Knight Straight Sword either. The damage is so terrible compared to what you would get out of like the broadsword at plus 15. With the Silver Knight Straight Sword at plus 10, or plus 5 rather. The Silver Knight Spear is also just kind of worse than the Partisan and Winged Spear. Black Knight, Halberd, and Gaslight people into thinking it was a terrible weapon. I mean, to be fair, spears aren't great weapons in this game in general, in my experience. I don't know. I haven't used enough spears to really say how good or bad they are. But somebody is spamming the celebration button. I appreciate that. I do see that. Spear that got Red Bull? Yeah, probably. I haven't had Red Bull in so long. I used to love Red Bull. I didn't say damage is why you pick spears. But like, if I'm gonna use a weapon in a class specifically designed for its length, I'm not gonna use a spear that's very slightly longer with dramatically lessened damage. The Silver Knight Straight Sword is so overrated. It makes me so sad because the Balder Side Sword is just better, right? Like, say what you want about the broadsword. I love the broadsword, but the Balder Side Sword is just a better version of the Silver Knight Straight Sword. You can get it earlier. You can get it easier. And it's a standard infusion path, so you can also use buffs on it. So like, there's no reason to use the Silver Knight Straight Sword over the Balder Side Sword, other than like style points. Particular route plan for this run: get the embers, upgrade the spear, win. The Silver Knight weapons have divine? I actually didn't know that. Manu being a scab to the Twitch chat. It's okay. This stream doesn't have Twitch chat, so he's not being a scab. The Balder front sword. Krista, thank you so much. Krista paying to win once again. Thank you, Krista. You give me too much money, but I appreciate every cent. Yeah, Silver Knight Straight Sword can also take you 2 hours if you have bad luck. Like, but sure, by the time you get Silver Knight Straight Sword, you have, or you can have Gold Serpent Ring and Tin Humanity extremely easily. But you can also just go into Sin's Fortress and turn around. So, like, for Pyromancy build, I would actually recommend the Hand Axe over the Broadsword. Only because the Hand Axe is just way faster of a weapon, and it doesn't rely nearly as much on scaling. That damage is atrocious. Oh no. Alright, this might be a bit Guardian of the Seal. Oh my goodness. Get there eventually. Here we go. If Krista won the lottery, no one will notice. That's probably true, yeah. The only reason to use the Silver Knight weapons is the divine damage. I mean, I've heard people just like recommending them as solid playthrough weapons, which is wild to me. I know a lot of that is just like getting them at a pivotal point in the game and like, oh, okay, this is easy to upgrade. I can max this out. I didn't get the very large Emperor before I went and fought Ornstein and Smough. So here's this weapon that I found here that I can upgrade here by just grinding for a few more souls. So I guess it makes sense that a lot of people do like the Silver Knight weapons, but it's just like, they're so not good compared to what else you can have. I also really don't like the Silver Knight armor, specifically because the cape. I think the cape looks atrocious. I would like to kill a couple of these guys for the chance to get a chunk, but I really don't think that's worth it. Silver Knight Spear is the best PvP spear. Huh? Why? Because it's long? I don't know. I feel like that would go to the Demon Spear, no? If you want to buff it, like, you're gonna... Can you buff the Silver Knight weapons? I actually don't know. No, because it has divine damage, right? I'm confused. I don't understand that. Silver Knight Helm looks so good. I mean, I don't know. I really like my favorite thing about the Silver Knight armor is the way the light plays off the material they used for it, only because it looks insanely good with the brass armor. If you combine the brass armor with the Silver Knight armor, it looks stupid good with the way the light plays off of the surfaces and the contrast between them. But the problem is that the Silver Knight armor looks like you have a piece of paper on your back. So like the most trusted source, Reddit. How many hours do I have in this game? That's a good question. On Dark Souls Remastered on Steam specifically. Wow, that's not a lot of damage. I have. Let me think. I think I have 980, 970 hours or something. I have 900 something hours on Dark Souls Remastered on Steam. I have at least 70 something hours on Dark Souls Remastered on Switch. I have another 40 hours on Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition on Steam. I have another like 60 hours-ish on Space War, which is the proxy for Dark Souls Remastered, which is a Dark Souls mod. And then I also have a few hours on like PlayStation and other Steam accounts and whatever. So, I don't know, probably like 1200-ish. Good reach and the fastest recovery of a spear? Do they even have dramatically different recovery times? Remasters or Dark Souls? Remastered is really good. Remastered is such a good mod. Uh-oh. It's fine. At least 1 hour. True. I do have at least 1 hour in this game. Hello, Smough. Welcome. Let me see if I can't lure this guy to his death. Lure this Dark Wraith to their death. Sorry, I didn't mean to potentially misgender the Dark Wraith. Yeah, I literally haven't even been through Dark Root Garden. I got the weapon, I got the embers, and now I'm here. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, Smough. Thank you for dropping by. Get well soon. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, true. The Duchess just murdered me. And I also murdered 2 Duchesses, so arguably it equals out. Thank you for the good luck wishes. Okay, I'm gonna go back down and grab that chunk. I don't know if it's worth it to try and keep. Oh my god, I don't know how that happens. I don't know if it's worth it to try and keep my souls. Oh yeah, if you're enjoying the stream and would like to help me get more people watching this stream, you know, get more people who like this kind of content you do to see the stream, I would really greatly appreciate a like. It does a lot more than you would think it would. And it means a lot just to like see that people are even appreciating the things that I do. Okay, Krista, I hope you sleep well. Thank you again for the pay to win. Best in slot shield? I mean, I don't know. It's kind of only the best in slot if you don't have Chloranthy Ring, and I don't know, like if you want to use a shield, the Grasscrest shield is not a good shield to use as a shield. If you're not actively using a shield, then Grasscrest shield is probably the best one, but like, I don't know. Yeah, that is pretty crazy to just walk in, get pay to win, and then leave. What? That was so weird. Yeah, I don't particularly love spears. I don't know, with the damage right now, it's kind of feeling like it could be a potential whip scenario where the damage isn't actually that bad. I'm just not built for it yet. I think to survive, I kind of need to do this. Black Knight and Crest Shield from Oscar? Oh, true. I like the Dragon Crest Shield, actually. I I think the Dragon Crest shield is a little bit more useful than the Crest shield. First of all, because it's way easier to get. And that means a lot, so I don't have to go all the way out of my way just for one shield that is decent at blocking magic, you know? But also, like, if I'm going to be using a medium shield, I'm also probably going to want to pick up the heater shield just because it's also incredibly easy to get. It's very light. The Black Knight shield is very heavy, but is also a very good shield. Yeah, if you're going to use a shield, I would much rather have 100% physical than just not, because I want slightly better stamina regen. I don't know. Really not worth it. Okay. I'm gonna pick up Grass Crest shield because I have no reason to actually use a shield. I'm just gonna have it on my back the whole game. But I also really like the Balder shield. It looks so good. I'm glad your enjoyment for this stream is cutting through your sickness. I hope it offers a moment of reprieve. Oh, you know, I probably shouldn't have done that like that. Oh god. Don't worry about me being awful at this video game that I have well over 1,000 hours in. I don't know, the Balder side shield would probably, or the Balder shield rather, would probably be my pick for the best looking shield. It's definitely up there. The Knight shield is pretty crazy. I would never use it, but it's really funny, and I really like it because of that. Wait, what? He's not dead? Whoa. I really thought that would do more damage. Okay. Objectively the cooler and usually better way to use them. I mean, you're getting the strength scaling and the motion value increase, but I don't know that two-handing is always necessarily better, as most spears, for the quality spears, absolutely, it is generally better to two-hand them like the pike. But for the dex scaling spears like the winged spear here, I'm pretty sure one-handing them is good. I also I also really like the spider shields. Oh my goodness. I may be mildly biased because Bandit is my favorite starting class, but I think the spider shield looks really good. And is also generally just a good shield. Not incredible, but good. Wow, that is not a lot of damage. Alright. Sorry about this, Abel. This might take a bit. Okay, 66 damage on the riposte. I want to see what the two-handed riposte damage was. I wasn't paying attention. 70? Okay, that is not worth it at all. I do prefer the two-handed moveset, especially like the rolling attack, but, you know, this is a toothpick run. I can definitely stream the Ornstein spear run for sure. I don't know if I had that planned or not. I think what I was gonna do is actually make a video on it, because it's atrocious for the DLC. It's like really, really bad in the DLC. Okay, but this isn't real life where a bow staff is gonna be better than a spearhead. Unfortunately. As cool as bow staffs are, I think more games need to have bow staffs. Staves? Bow staves? I don't know. I think someone should make a mod for... Oh, I could do that. I think someone should make a mod for Dark Souls that adds a bow staff weapon. York Spear? That's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I guess there are spears that do have, like, Twin Blade-esque movesets. $66 damage for 15 minutes. Unfortunately, you can't actually riposte Smough, so that is kind of a baseless threat against him. Yeah, Saint Spear. I did a run with Saint Spear, and it was really cool, but I didn't super love it. I don't know. It is like really, really fun. It was a really fun weapon, but compared to a lot of other weapons I've used in Dark Souls 2, like I would 100% of the time pick the key to the embedded over the Saint Spear. Actually, I need this ring for now. I would also 100% take the hold on, it's in there somewhere. I would take like the blacksmith and craftsman's hammer over Saint Spear as well. Saint Spear is fun. It's just like I prefer a lot of other weapons. Saint Spear have a stab on the one-handed moveset, I think. I don't remember. Bonk. That's crazy that it didn't even one-shot a hollow. I don't know. I guess it is +0. Actually, never mind. I'm gonna make... Hey, a chunk. That's actually really good. I'm gonna make a mod for Dark Souls that gives... Or that adds a bow staff, but all it does is just have the twin blade moveset from Dark Souls 2. Maybe with slightly better motion values. Okay, I was staring at chat because I was cocky and figured I'd two partials because I figured I'd be able to time it based on the peripheral vision, and that was not the case. I don't know if that was a safe heal. It was. It patched in Earth in like the 800s. There we go. Got another chunk. And a Black Knight sword. Okay, we're pivoting. Yeah, professional. The fakest peg butt indeed. I don't know. It's actually a true peg butt because the Black Knight can always be parried. Oh wait, I already got that one. I don't know. I don't think I've ever used the illusion ring that makes you look human in Dark Souls 2. Just because when I first started playing, I cared too much about stats. And now that I've played it a ton, I usually have more than enough effigies to make it through the game without having to worry about it. So, I don't know. But the Keyblade is really, really fun in Dark Souls 2. It's such a fun weapon because of the counter damage you get from it. I really wish the Leo ring worked on non-thrusting counter damage in Dark Souls 2. It would make the sword so much more fun. Yeah, I know people who have used it through the game because like the morale boost, you know, but I don't know. At this point it feels kind of useless to me, personally. What's the jumping attack? Okay, it's that one. There we go. Hey, another chunk. That's crazy, actually. Now I have to decide if I want to go kill the other Black Knight or kill one of the two giants instead. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 does not starve you of effigies whatsoever. Especially compared to, I don't know, I wouldn't say that Dark Souls 3 stars you of embers either, especially because you get a free ember every time you beat a boss, but I would argue that Dark Souls 2 gives you a lot more effigies than Dark Souls 3 gives you embers. And Dark Souls 1 gives you a stupid amount of humanity, which I'm not complaining about. I think it actually works really well, especially since it's super easy to farm, like really early into the game. As soon as you get to the depths, it's incredibly easy to farm humanity. It's a little bit harder to farm effigies in Dark Souls 2 if I'm remembering correctly, but not dramatically. Okay, I think it's probably a better idea to just go to both the giants. Yeah, I just don't like fighting the giants. Runarks suck to farm, yeah, that Ugh, Elden Ring. Yeah, I have not ever played Dark Souls 3 online except for like co-op with other people who were also banned. Wow, that I probably should have killed the guys on the way here, but hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna be a little bit more careful about this. Okay. Oh. Wait, is 38 damage the counter damage? Very strange. Smoldering. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't like PvP in any of the games. I've tried it in all of them. And I just can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Decided picked up shop. That's true. I forgot the dogs dropped the effigies. I don't know. It's definitely slower to farm than humanity in Dark Souls 1, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing in either direction. It's just kind of what they were going for in terms of how you were acquiring that specific type of item in their game, right? The curse mechanic in Dark Souls 2, I really love it, actually. Oops. I think the lowering your health, it's less to punish you for not being good at the game yet, and more to force you to be careful about it, you know? Okay, I need to buy 8 of those. That's not the button I meant to press. Hopefully, that'll be a passable amount of damage for now. The netcode in Dark Souls 2, I don't know. I get the dislike of it, but it's never really affected me while playing PvP. Yeah, the curse feels... I don't know. I guess also its effect on storytelling is pretty dramatic, right? Because you're constantly thinking about the undead curse and how it's directly affecting you, which I think is a lot more effective than, oh, I kind of look like bacon now. Oh, I can't summon? That's okay. I wasn't going to do that anyway. As opposed to, oh my god, I'm losing so much health. Is this Londo? It is. Whoa, first try? That's crazy. That never happens. Very Demon Souls in them, yeah. It's a lot less punishing than Demon Souls as well. Mostly just because, like, I mean, obviously it goes down slowly, but the effigies are also way, way more common than Stones of Ephemeral Eyes. It's almost like the creators of the game wanted you to engage with, or not wanted you to not be forced to engage with the online mechanics if you don't want to, which is really nice of them. I do love Demon Souls, but kind of having to be forced to engage with the online to make use of a lot of the game's mechanics is... Ugh. You're doing it because it's hard to control. You get used to it. I mean, I know people who can only do it on, or who rather mostly only do it on keyboard because that makes it way easier to control. Because you have more finesse with going straight forward. I've only ever done it on controller. Or that's not true. I've used keyboard once or twice because people said it was easier. And I don't know. I never found it that much easier, to be honest. Kind of just, you get used to it once you do it 600 times. I kind of want to get Power Within, but I also don't want to climb up Blighttown. Oh, it's fine. I'll get Power Within. I like damage. The fall distance in that... Okay. So the fatal fall distance in Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring is exactly the same. The only difference is the threshold for where you start taking damage. In Dark Souls 1, I believe it's 5 units, and it scales... Ooh, owie. It scales linearly from there, right? So from 5 units, you take a certain percentage of your total health as damage, and then up to 70% at 19.99 units, whatever, and 20 units is fatal. Let me make sure I don't die here. And then, or well, okay, it's 70% of your health if you have 0 equip load, and then it scales up to 99.9% of your health, you know, down to exactly 1 HP if you have insane equip load. As opposed to Elden Ring, where it's actually 15 units where you start taking damage. That scales linearly up to 20 units, and 20 units is instant death no matter what. It can feel kind of inconsistent because the distance is a little bit funky with Torrent and how the terrain undulates, and there aren't a lot of falls that are specifically designed for you to take, as opposed to Dark Souls 1, where every single fall is very intentionally designed, whether or not you can survive it, to the point where they put death planes in places you would otherwise be able to survive because of the level design. So, I think it's just because Elden Ring is a little bit less meticulous in terms of how you can explore the world and how the developers intended you navigate it. It feels a lot less consistent and a lot more, I don't know, punishing. But the numbers behind the scenes are nearly exactly the same. It's only that one difference. Oh, that guy just died. Yeah, I mean, it is finicky. I've only been on controller as well. But, okay, again, you do get used to it after a while. I don't know. I can't imagine most people are doing the exact same glitch in every single playthrough of Dark Souls they do. But I do, so. Yeah, Dark Souls 1's world design is insanely good compared to basically any other game I've ever played. There are games that rival it, and there are games that I like a lot. For instance, I think CarQuest, that's such a wild example, I know, but I think CarQuest's world is insanely fun to explore because of the, like, what's it called? The stuff that comes out with everything combined. I don't know. There's a term for that. The emergent design, with how the car controls and everything. And I really, really love CarQuest because of that. But obviously, Dark Souls 1 is a lot more intentional in that way. Even though every single path might not have been intentionally, meticulously designed. Or like, even certain level, I think level design is really what makes a lot of games replayable for me, as opposed to, like, weapons. There are so many ways to play through Dark Souls 1. There aren't that many ways to play through Dark Souls 3, which is probably a good reason why I prefer Dark Souls 1 so much. And it's also probably why I've loved replaying Sonic 06 so much, despite everything that people hate about that game. I love a lot about Sonic 06 though, so. Larry the Lizard survives that boulder. I mean, he did kind of survive. It was the second boulder that got him. Yeah, Elden Ring would be better if it was smaller, that's true. Playing these games on keyboard at all keeps you up at night. I get it. I don't know, I don't hate the keyboard controls. I think they are serviceable at worst. I have... I need 3. That means 1,200 souls. The giant drops 2,000? I don't remember. I'll kill the giant and then come back and fight him. It is very much not unplayable because bugs. I actually streamed Sonic Story and a good chunk of Shadow Story yesterday on my second channel, if you want to watch the VOD if you don't believe me, but I adore Sonic 06. It is janky, but... Okay, this is gonna... I don't want to be an apologist for games being unfinished. However, I think that the jank in Sonic 06 makes it really, really enjoyable because you need to learn how to navigate the jank, which I think is super fun. It's also, the jank is a lot more present than it is in, say, Sonic Adventure 2, but the jank in Sonic Adventure 2 is a lot more detrimental to my play experience personally. Like, I never died to jank. That's not true. I very rarely died to jank in Sonic 06, but I never, like, clip through a platform and just die because I was on the intended path. As opposed to Oh god. As opposed to Sonic Adventure 2, where I have indeed been on the intended path, taken an intended shortcut, and clipped straight through a platform to my death. So, like, I don't know. Sonic 06 is bad because it's buggy is such a nothing argument to me. Hello, Lux Lucifer. Welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here, even though I'm an apologist for Sonic 06 because I'm extremely autistic. Ugh. I can't wait to upgrade this thing. This is not a bad spot to, or not a good spot to be in. Everything's fine. Yeah, I have played Sonic 06 a lot. Sonic 06 is unironically my favorite Sonic game. I love Sonic 06 so much. I have a lot of really weird Sonic hot takes. Uh-oh, that's really not good. No! I'm alive. Everything's okay. Nothing to worry about. It's a very good thing I'm wearing all the armor I am. Souls jank Stockholm Syndrome? Sonic Cross Worlds together? But it's Sonic Cross Worlds. It's kind of boring. Sonic Colors DS? That's not a hot take. Sonic Colors DS is... A lot of people who have actually played it think that Sonic Colors DS is better than the Wii version, and I 1000% agree. Dark Souls 2, I don't know, being an apologist for Dark Souls 2 isn't that crazy. It's kind of just because a lot of people think it's bad because of bad internet reviews. Jesus, Dark Souls 2 is really, really good. I'm going to kill this Boulder Knight, actually, so I don't have to waste a soul item for 150 souls. Okay, I guess I'm killing this Boulder Knight instead. Hi. I played the closed network test, and I also played the new demo, and I did not enjoy the game at all, unfortunately. Like, the demo was a lot more fun than the network test, but I just did not enjoy it that much, unfortunately. I'd rather play Sonic Team Racing. Yeah, true. Dark Souls 2 is hated because of skill issue, mostly, in my experience. There's something I was gonna say. Oh yeah, on the topic of Sonic hot takes, I think I don't know if this one is actually a hot take, but Sonic Unleashed. Krista, thank you for getting me onto this. Sonic Unleashed is so much better than the 360 version. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous how much better it is. Yeah, and people just not reading the menus. Skill issue and not reading the menus is the downfall of Dark Souls 2. My brain is jumping between Sonic and Dark Souls, my two biggest special interests as an autistic person. Okay, make gear plus 6. Force. I think I have enough chunks. Sonic Frontiers would be better if it didn't have open worlds. I disagree. I think the open worlds are kind of what made Sonic Frontiers what it was. The levels were lackluster, not because they were reused. I actually kind of like the idea of reusing levels in different contexts, especially because the game's controls so dramatically differently. I think that the open world is what made the experience itself, rather than the game fun. That's not what I mean. I do think that the game was incredibly fun in the open world, but I think that the open world is instrumental with what the game was going for. Unleashed is just common as in vernacular. I mean, it's unleashed for the Wii. Unleashed. I got to Shamar yesterday or Arid Sands, whatever you want to call the level, in Unleashed, and I spent probably almost an hour just replaying the level over and over, which I never did with a single level in 360 Unleashed. I don't know, the thing I don't like about Crossworlds is its whole gimmick is dramatically boring. The gimmick with Crossworlds is that the first player chooses a different stage, but all the stages that you can warp into are exactly the same as the one you're in. The stages don't have enough variety to make the Crossworlds gimmick actually interesting, and then everything else is just a slightly different version of what they did in previous games, when I could just go play, you know, um, like Racing Transformed and have an actually fun gimmick that I know that the gimmick is also in Crossworlds, but it's not explored in the same way. I don't know. I don't like Crossworlds very much. The 360 version isn't bad by any means. I think, okay, well, there's going to be a lot of, I think, and in my opinion, but the 360 version is generally the preferred version by most people. However, I really hate the level design in for both day and night stages in 360 Unleashed. I think the night stages are significantly less egregious, only because the exploration isn't hampered by my biggest problem with the day stages. The biggest problem with the night stages is they're insanely long. Like, some of them are up to 15 minutes, and you have to do that entire thing without dying one time to get the S rank in the vast majority of those stages. And if you want to S rank it, you have to play through the entire thing, as opposed to Unleashed, where the stages are, in my opinion, generally better designed with more interesting platforming and puzzles and gimmicks and stuff, but also significantly shorter. Like, some of the goal times are like 9 minutes for some of the nighttime stages, but I've easily been 4 or 5 minutes under the goal time on all the night stages and still gotten S rank by doing all the exploring I needed to do and everything, as opposed to 360 Unleashed, where you'd need to play the entire thing. And there are, like, the way Unleashed is structured is you have multiple stages in a row that are part of the same stage, right? So, like, for instance, in Halaska, you have 2 night stages back to back, but each one is only 5 minutes. So if you want to S rank them, you don't have to spend 10 minutes on one stage. You spend 5 minutes on each, and, you know. But then the day stages have a lot more blind obstacles, which I hate. Like, you have generations. This is a really, really common comparison, but it's extremely effective. In generations, you have the punishment paths, where if you miss a jump, you don't die instantly, or you don't slam into a wall and lose all your speed. You fall down to a slower path where you have to do a little bit of platforming or combat to get out of the punishment path, and then you're back on the main path and having fun. As opposed to 360 Unleashed, where you either have to go through, or where you either die, you lose all your speed and just have to, like, boost back up to speed, which is incredibly unfun. And people complain about automation in a lot of Sonic games, but, like, there's so much more automation in Unleashed, which is considered to have some of the best Sonic stages because of the day stages, which I do not understand in any way. Oh. It's the blind obstacles, it's the automation with very, very little incentive to not engage with the automation, as opposed to, say, 06, which has some of my favorite Sonic stages, where you're actually heavily incentivized to bypass the automation, or to disengage with the automation to take faster paths or get more points or whatever. I could go on about this for hours, but yeah, the damage isn't super great, which is why I've been distracting myself by talking about Sonic, my other special interest, while this special interest isn't doing an incredible job at holding my attention. Okay, that's plus 15. Now we can go obliterate the gargoyles. Unleashed, the boost is in chunks, so you couldn't even, like, automate the areas if you wanted to outside of the boost pads, which don't even usually directly boost you into other boost pads. You need to still control between the boost pads. And because the boost is coming in bursts, you need to be very careful about how, when, and where you use your boost. So, I don't know, I think it's just way more fun. What's our AR right now? 349? That's not bad. I think it was 400 something at 4040, which, you know, we're at 1330. So hopefully we'll get around 200 AR by the time, or 400 AR by the time we get to 40, which, with how fast the spear is, shouldn't be too terrible, especially once I get power within. I do need to grab the Pyromancy Flame as well, before I forget. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I tend to not use spears because I hate the thrusting moveset, which is why I thought I would hate the halberd, but actually, like, rolling attack, but otherwise I don't super love the spear moveset in general. Alright, chopped liver. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your time with your girlfriend. Oh yeah, that's not terrible. Admittedly, it's plus 15, but 4 hits with a plus 15 is not incredibly out of the ordinary. It does feel like a whip situation where you're getting terrible damage early on, and then getting better damage very quickly by just speccing into it. I don't understand why people think the whip is terrible, to be honest. Uh-oh. OBS... The YouTube control panel in OBS is telling me that it's disconnecting? Can people hear me right now? Okay, is everything okay? Are we reconnected? Did it disconnect in the first place? Yeah, landing attacks with thrusting attacks has never really felt good. I can be heard. Hopefully things don't disconnect again. Very strange. Yeah, hitting things with the thrusting moveset could be extremely annoying sometimes. Like, Ornstein hit going straight through the thigh gaps, trying to get the Leo ring, was one of the worst experiences I've had in this game before I knew how to, like, make use of the entire moveset of weapons and, like, properly aim my attacks. Excuse me. The range is nice, but it is not made up for by the complete lack of horizontal range, in my opinion. Oh, the game mutes when I tab out. I tapped out to check on YouTube Studio to make sure everything was working fine. So the shenanigans should not persist. Wanna see something funny? Come here. Come here faster. Pop. If you don't know, there's a wall there that makes enemies teleport back to their origin point. I think it's really funny. I used to be a big sword type. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love great swords, especially in, like, I'm a Wilder main in Night Rain, and I love great swords in that game. And I still love great swords in Dark Souls 1 and 2. The Keyblade is one of my favorite weapons in Dark Souls 2, and that's a great sword. I really love most of the great swords in Dark Souls 2 as well. But I don't know, I've been kind of diversifying, and I'm really not sure what my favorite weapon type is right now. Straight swords are up there. I'm really liking straight swords. I attempted to use that enemy teleportation wall on bone wheels in that one everything is a bone wheel playthrough that I did, and it didn't work out too well, believe it or not. Oops. Wait, oh, you have to switch, right? Great hammers are funny. Normal hammers I actually prefer more, just because the moveset feels better because they're faster. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's because the game would be able to handle moving enemies between areas, between levels that don't have that enemy's data loaded and everything. Especially, like, when you try to deload that area. But, like, it's absolutely for technical reasons, but it's really funny to see happen directly in front of you. Blue Moon Greatsword is really funny. I've never actually used it. Club R2 feels so pure. The jump attack or the one-handed R2? I don't think I've used the one-handed moveset for the clubs in a very long time. I'm really excited to do my starting class weapon playthroughs, or starting class build playthroughs rather. Just because the Deprived, I think, is going to be really fun. I think I don't know, I think the Cleric is probably going to be my favorite, to be honest, but I'm excited to do those runs. I guess I kind of already did the Bandit's Knife for the Thief, but doing it without Miracles is probably going to be a very different experience. Oh, the Instant Hop, yeah. To be fair, you can get the jumping attack. Oops, hold on. You can get the jumping attack in every single weapon class. And it's probably a lot more effective on Great Hammers, and actually I think the jump attack is faster and does more damage with the club, which is really unfortunate. Generally, the jump attack is better too than the heavy because it's faster, but and does a similar amount of damage, if not straight up better damage in some instances, especially with like RTSR and motion value buffs and whatever. So, but it is also inconsistent and difficult to use, so it makes sense that it is better. I want to go get Power Within. I don't know if it makes sense to rest in Blighttown, because I don't want to have to climb back up it later. But if I die on my way to Power Within, then it's going to be even worse. So I am going to rest in Blighttown, just for brevity's sake. Probably going to get Toxic in one hit, which is unfortunate, but it'll be okay. As long as I don't get hit, that's not going to be an issue. Could have leveled resistance, that would have helped. Pardon me. I haven't done the Power Within run from the bottom of Blighttown in a while. Especially not on stream. This is scary. I'm gonna embarrass myself. Go! Almost got Toxic, but everything's a-okay. The worst part of the Blighttown climb, especially when you're doing it without a weapon, which I've done many times, is that specific Crag Spider. It's so annoying to get out of your way when you don't have a weapon. The two Smithy Hammers are incredible. As much as the Rapier is really funny in Dark Souls 2, I really, really love the Craftsman's Hammer and Blacksmith Hammer. I've never used the Homunculus Mace. You get that from the ghost guy in the castle, right? Dingy top with black leather boots and gloves. Just because Kia. I don't remember what the dingy top looks like, if I'm being honest. I think I haven't used a lot of late game Dark Souls 2 weapons, just because getting your weapon after you get to the castle feels really bad. Admittedly, the structure of Dark Souls 2 makes it somewhat a non-issue sometimes, but having to like max out a weapon to reasonably get there isn't super fun. Oh yeah, pre-order bonus. I did forget about that. I actually don't know if I quit out if this guy's gonna aggro, so I'm gonna kill him anyway. Just for safety. I remember hacking in the Blue Rakumo to do a fight. I was doing a fight with the Murakumo against Leaden Zullen because people were complaining about it while using the Murakumo. And I wanted to do a fight with the Murakumo with Leaden Zullen because I love Leaden Zullen. And I hacked in the Blue Rakumo instead because I thought it was funny. Which weren't pre-order bonuses, but they were rewards for having the Dark Souls 2 vanilla DLC on the week of release. Pardon me. Same one-handed moveset as the hammer, but same two-handed moveset as the normal mace. Does the mace have a special moveset? Yeah, having range problems in Dark Souls 2, I feel like that's more common than in Dark Souls 1 and 3. Sometimes in Dark Souls 1 with like fist weapons, maybe. But even with daggers, I've never really had issues with range in Dark Souls 1, which is why I don't usually use spears, because the range is just kind of worthless to me. When I can just have, you know... Oh, I should have attuned. It's whatever. Do I have... Okay, I do have 11 attuned. That's fine. I don't know. So the range on spears is extremely not useful, in my opinion. Outside of, like, clearing mobs in front of a doorway or whatever, as opposed to, like, the significantly better damage that I'm going to get on, say, a straight sword or a great sword. Or if I want the speed, you know, like a curved sword. Oh, true, knocking back enemies? I didn't even consider that an issue. Wow, she did the ass shake. That's a very rare attack. At least for me, because I never go behind her. Unfortunately. Oh god. Oh. Maybe it's a good thing I rested in Blighttown. Okay, now I can attune power within. This was a tactical death. I did the highest possible DPS video for Dark Souls 1, and I'm working on it for Dark Souls 2 and 3. I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna do first. I'm nearly done with that Dark Souls 2 one, because I did a couple playthroughs. In theory, the Mastodon Halberd is technically the highest DPS weapon in the game on the R2. If you can hit the sweet spot every time and land all of the attacks on the R2. But the Ice Rapier also just feels so much better. So I did a run with the Mastodon Halberd, and I did another run with 2 Ice Rapiers. And I'm almost done with that second Ice Rapiers run. It's been a very fun run, but I just haven't finished it yet, and it's going to be a lot of scripting. A Chaos Blade in Dark Souls 2? I've never actually used that in Dark Souls 2. Getting yelled at a bunch. Yippee. I love capitalism. I don't know. I need to use more weapons in Dark Souls 2. I really want to do that pickaxe video, but it's so... Ugh, pickaxe. Oh, true. I didn't even consider life gems in unison with the Chaos Blade. That's probably pretty significant. Okay. Power Within is a flat 40% damage buff, so we're not going to have motion value shenanigans like we would with RTSR. That's kind of stupid damage. Okay. I am not complaining about this. Nice to have the second spot. Poor people first. True. It is poor people first. Can blame Krista for that one. Sometimes, though, third is poor people first. It makes sense that YouTube wants people to give them money, but I feel like money has a lot of... is a little bit overtuned. Being able to pay to win is a little bit... Oh yeah, Leo Ring would have been insane. On Fire Intensity 2. Oh, it is Lost Sinner, isn't it? That's why I've never used it. I hate the Lost Sinner New Game Plus fight on New Game. I've done it once for the fire weapon buff. I forget what it's called. And... I don't know. I'm a lot better at Dark Souls 2 than I was at the time, so it shouldn't be too terrible, but I would definitely like to do a Chaos Blade playthrough with Dark Souls 2. Yeah, the double Pyromancer is rough. Oh, really? I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time, but I had a lot of trouble with it in my first playthrough. Or the first time I did that, rather. I mean, I feel like fire weapon isn't super great. Like, it's the only fire weapon buff, but compared to, like, or not crystal magic weapon, um, the choice between lightning weapon and dark weapon, or sunlight weapon, sunlight blade and dark weapon. Those are the names. It's kind of just pointless to have fire weapon, flame weapon, whatever it's called. I've never summoned Lucatiel in Dark Souls 2. I think can you summon her for the Ruin Sentinels? Because I might have done that once. Yeah, fire isn't great in Dark Souls 2. Especially when lightning and dark are both just significantly better. It's good situationally compared to lightning and dark. Like, if you have both lightning and dark, you're set for the whole game. And then, you know, that's just... What are the numbers? That's just 30 intelligence and 50 faith. 54 faith, I think, for the maximum duration. And so it's just kind of extremely easy to get with how Dark Souls 2 levels are. You cannot summon Lucatiel for Ruin Sentinels. Okay, then I have never summoned Lucatiel. I haven't done Lucatiel's quest. I want to, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I also haven't done Benhart's quest or... I mean, most NPC quests in Dark Souls 2, really. Oops. Okay. Should pretty easily get us to 40 dexterity. And now I can get... endurance, yeah. I'll get like 15 endurance. Yeah, Dark Weapon makes a lot of bosses extremely easy in Dark Souls 2. Until you get to like the second, or like the, I don't know, last quarter of the game. And then at that point you can just get Lightning Weapon and respec if you really need to, right? Or Sunlight Blade, whatever it's called. Respecking in Dark Souls 2, I think it's really cool that they added it because there are so many options. But it also does kind of make, you know, building a lot less meaningful in a lot of ways. But, I don't know. I can't really complain about it because I do use it a lot. And I think it's very, very nice to have. Especially when you just don't understand the game or don't understand the specific thing that you're going for. You don't have to start a whole new playthrough to just get like slightly more optimal stats. It makes sense that they limited it in Dark Souls 3. But Dark Souls 3 also has so much less build variety than Dark Souls 2 does. And so many fewer interesting weapons that are actually good. So I hardly ever respec in Dark Souls 3 unless I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this extremely basic build to get through the first 3/4 of the game, and I'm going to respec so I can use this really cool weapon that I found, kind of thing. I don't know. It doesn't force you to like build for things late in the game, which would have worked very well for Dark Souls 3 structure. So I kind of wish Dark Souls 3 didn't have a respec, but I can also just like not use it, so again, can't really complain that much. Yeah. Oh yeah, true, with like the stats with ADP. And how you can like stack into endurance instead of ADP or like attunement. Yeah, that's really... I didn't even think about that. Like, interaction there. I feel like Bloodborne is like the one Souls game that doesn't at all need respec, as it's extremely linear. It has like 5 weapons, and half of them scale exactly the same. I don't know. I haven't played Bloodborne in a long time, but I don't know, it's probably the one where respecing would be the least useful, in my opinion. Dark weapon slash warp sword. Or plus warp sword. I used warp sword once, and it was honestly kind of underwhelming. The stagger damage, or the stance damage on it is really funny. But otherwise, I don't know, it's kind of... Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually tend to min-max either. I just kind of go for... Like, if I want to use Dark Weapon, I halfway through my run, because Dark Weapon is insanely easy to get. It's super easy to just respec and get it. As opposed to, you know, like getting 30-30, which would take a long time if you're not already speccing into Intelligence and Faith. There's only one Blood Rock per new game cycle. I thought there was more than that, I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of crazy. Oh, they fixed that. Okay. Okay, never mind. Doesn't it cost like 40 insight? I forgot what it's called. It costs a lot of insight though, doesn't it? To get a Blood Rock. And the most effective way to get insight, 60 insight, Jesus. And from what I remember, it was online, which I never engaged with. I remember the first time I fought Orphan of Cause, like 6 hours in, I was like, I just want to beat this boss. I don't want to do this anymore. And I went on Reddit. I was like, I need help with Orphan of Cause. And somebody offered to join me. And we spent like 30 minutes trying to figure out why I couldn't see their summon sign. Turned out I had been playing offline the entire game. Which did explain a lot. Oh, a Chalice Dungeon here. Yeah, I guess when the game was new, that makes a lot more sense to do a lot. I don't know, I never engaged with the Chalice Dungeons beyond what was required for the achievements. I did Platinum Bloodborne, though. That was the second Souls game I Platinumed. I've done Dark Souls 1, then I did Bloodborne, and then I did... Actually, Bloodborne I did in one playthrough. I took like 60 hours to Platinum it, and like 8 of those were on Orphan of Cause, which is really funny. But then, yeah, Dark Souls 1 I did first because I played it so much, and it took me like 200 hours before I decided I even wanted to try to Platinum it. And then Dark Souls 2 and 3 I'm still working on. Elden Ring I did in my first playthrough. It took me about 80 hours to Platinum Elden Ring, which was not a lot compared to what some people said. And then I Platinumed it again in like 30 hours on a second Steam profile. Dark Souls 2 is painful for completion, yeah. Having to play into New Game Plus Plus just to get a few spells. Yeah, sunlight metal farming and stuff, true. I am so glad that you're not forced to do PvP for some of the requirements for some of the random spells. It can definitely feel satisfying to just like complete Chalice dungeons and then the random catacombs and stuff in Elden Ring. I get why you would like them. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I'd rather have the solid progression of the main game personally, but I definitely get it. I didn't even use Power Within in that fight, by the way. I forgot. It was a lot better damage than I expected out of the Winged Spear, to be honest. I guess, is the Iron Golem weak to piercing damage? That might be why. Six hours doing farming, only to find out that you needed more. Yeah, the farming in that game can be rough. It's not as bad as Dark Souls 3. Only because I prefer playing Dark Souls 2. I like Dark Souls 2 a lot more than Dark Souls 3. And killing 6,000 Silver Knights is not my idea of a good time. Farming in Dark Souls 1 also isn't super great, but you can dupe, so it's fine. Max item discovery too? Ugh. I'm sorry you had to experience that. My condolences. think a Faith build in Dark Souls 3 could be really fun, but I haven't done any. I haven't done one, at least not recently. And when I do that, I want to get all the miracles, because I'm pretty sure I don't have the Master of Miracles achievement in Dark Souls 3. I have Master of Pyromancies and Master of Sorceries, but I don't think I have Master of Miracles. Don't jump over the railing when going down the elevator. Because it's scary. What if I take damage? And then I die to a Painting Guardian. That's the only reason. I don't like it. I don't like taking that damage. Not for any particular, like, tangible reason. It just feels bad. Oh. Okay, everything's fine. Ugh. Hopefully I don't die to the archers with my completely unupgraded health, but I should be okay. Have I died this run? I actually don't know. I might have at the beginning of the game at some point. No, I did die to the Dark Wraith, that's true. That's what happened. I don't like lightning spells. Oh, and I died to Quelaag. I also forgot about Quelaag, that's true. I have ADHD. I've never done a Dark Souls playthrough deathless. I've never really tried, to be fair. It's not really something I have much interest in attempting, but I do think it would be fun to do, like, just a casual deathless playthrough at some point. I don't know. I don't like the lightning type spells in the Souls games very much. I don't like Lightning Spear in Dark Souls 1. Or any of the Lightning Spear variants. When I use miracles, I tend to stick to Emit Force and Wrath of the Gods. Yes, 2 Deathless for the ring. But I'm terrible at Dark Souls 2. I'm really not good at Dark Souls 2. Fire is cooler than lightning, this is true. Fire is objectively the coolest element. I don't know, I've done a lot of challenge runs in Dark Souls 1. I want to do a couple for Dark Souls 2, but I'm so bad at Dark Souls 2 that I haven't really attempted any. I started my very first Dark Souls 1 challenge run was, can you beat Dark Souls with nothing? Where I didn't use any rings, I didn't heal, I didn't use any consumables. I didn't have any equip weight. I don't know, I don't remember what the restrictions were, but the idea was to just make a, like, weirdly restrictive challenge run. And that's why I'm still making challenge run videos, because that video did really, really well. It was the most viewed video on my channel by far. And then I made a follow-up to that called Literally Nothing, where I used, believe it or not, literally nothing. And then that one got more views. So I want to do a nothing run in Dark Souls 2, like a spiritual successor, not literally the exact same thing. But I don't know. I haven't really gotten around to it yet. Oh wait, power within, hold on. Fire is simply the coolest. I'm sorry, Fela. Yeah, a lot of things are really, really good, and pretty much everything is viable in Dark Souls 2. Is Fire Snake similar to Whirl, O Flame, and Elden Ring? I haven't used a lot of Pyromancies that aren't just like the basic ones in the other games. That was instability damage, by the way, not counter damage. Let me out! Oh. Oh, my eye is itchy. This is a bad time. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. I pressed the dodge button, but it was too late. Oh, that's not the attack I was ready for, so my timing was completely different. I mean, fists in Dark Souls 1 are also pretty viable. Just kind of have to build for it. Especially, like, if you're gonna use fists, you're gonna want to be using buffs anyway for the damage. And buffs are stupid in Dark Souls 1. So, you know, Cestus with a buff is not bad. Yeah, Covenant of Champions farming without a weapon is going to be rough. But I can just knock Roy off the edge, but I do have to get down into the well without the cat ring and without leveling, which is... Ugh. Talk about how I got, yeah. Poor Smough missing his moment in the sun. Oh, it's Firestorm, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Very different from what I expected from the name. I rolled at completely the wrong time, but that still worked out. That's okay. Oh. Let me out. Hold on. Okay, everything's fine. Oh. Uh-oh. Ornstein, no! God damn it. I felt that coming from a mile away and there was nothing I could do about it. I hate Super Ornstein. Getting there is just as bad as the actual fight. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's a spiritual successor to the Nothing Run. Because I am going to have equip weight, but the only damage I'm going to be doing is going to be the damage from the ring, right? So, I don't know. It fits. Ugh. Sometimes I can get Ornstein and Smough first try, no problem, extremely easily, even with Super Ornstein. Sometimes that's not the case, and I really don't know why. This is the one. I can feel it. This is where I win. Yeah, Super Ornstein was also the first way I beat this boss. And it's just because Smough has less health in the first phase. But now that I'm able to, or now that I understand how to, completely mistimed that. Now that I know how to actually like fight this boss, it's so much easier to do Super Smough. Okay, Power Within almost killed me, but it's fine. I can't see. Like, I've hit list Ornstein and Smough so many times, but I just am extremely inconsistent with it. Instability damage, that's what we like to see. Wait, because it hit Ornstein, it didn't hit Smough? That's crazy. I didn't know that's how that works. I know that works. That's how it works with Smough's hammer, but... That's unfortunate. And this is the one. I can feel it. That was... If we had used any other attack, I would have been fine. Goddamn. How many times have I gotten Smough down to exactly one hit and died? Has it been all 3 times? I don't remember how strong some of my showings have been. Yeah, Ornstein is not letting his boyfriend die today. Ugh. Oh, Power Within, right. He really would be. I don't know, I feel like if Smough was here, I would have beaten Ornstein and Smough by this point. Just because that's how the universe works. Okay. Instability damage, I think. There we go. Jesus. Oh. Hate this fight. Hate his moveset. I hate everything about this fight. I hate the hitboxes. I hate his shape. Because it makes it incredibly annoying to try and hit his legs. But, you know, we're here for it. The roll attack is for. One more. I'm gonna be careful about it. There we go. His shape is beautiful, but it makes me sad. See, that was the one. I told you. That was extremely easy, true. I had no issues with that fight whatsoever. I don't know if the rolling attack does piercing damage. It does do thrust damage. That's funny. Ring. I did get it. Wow, 2 people missed it. You know, I'm gonna assume that was just the assumption that I would miss it because I miss things a lot, and that's totally fair.
Oh, chosen undead,
Because it didn't have the red plume, that's totally fair. That's just his lesbian hair. His redhead lesbian hair. That's the headcanon we're going with, right? I don't remember. Okay, ugh, Hydra. Lesbian hair. Yeah, like Millennius. Exactly. And Millicent's as well. And Radagon. All redheads in the Souls games are lesbians. That includes Radon. Which is why... Oh, excuse me. Which is why Michaela had to brainwash Radon into being his consort. Hello, Visions Immortality. Welcome. Includes player characters. That's true. Yeah, it's not atrocious on mobile, but it can be. It's worse than desktop, at least. Oh, and I have to make a new character and make the hair red. Darn. I named the character Winged Spinge. I was gonna do Winged Spinged because I thought it was funny, but I didn't have enough characters for it. So the character is just named Winged Spinge. I could have done Winged Sping, but Winged Spinge is funnier. Okay, not bad. Winged Spinge. I try to do funny character names for all the streams, but sometimes they're less funny. Okay, I swear to God I just heard a noise behind me, but I am very alone in this room. Probably came from outside, but that sounded like it was right next to me. Got jump scared by nothing. Ow. Okay. Everything's fine. Thank you, Lamb. Thank you for being here while you could. Hope you, have a half-decent day at work, at least. I don't know, I didn't think Dark Souls had that much, or that good of audio. Oh, he's here in real life. Okay. Or he's hiding. There's not much space to hide in my room. Oh, that's... Does that count as counter damage? I'm actually not sure. Okay, with that kind of damage, that's gonna be 7 heads. Hopefully the range is big enough that that doesn't matter. Oh my god. Hurry up. Probably, yeah. Maybe with jump attacks I can still get 6, but probably not. Oh, that head specifically is always the worst one, and it's so inconsistent whether or not it hits me. Okay. There we go. The jump attack is indeed stronger than the jump attack. Oh, jump attack is stronger than the jump attack. Jump attack is stronger than the strong attack. I don't know, it's somewhere in there, you get the idea. The jump attack is better. Words are hard. Leave it alone. A poke takes off the head instantly, so I can't do a poke then jump. Okay, well. Yeah, 7 heads. It would have been 6 if I had jump attacked all the heads, but should be okay. I do still have fire bombs, don't I? No, I used them. Never mind. Okay, that should be close enough. There we go. Easy. I hate fighting the Hydra. Hello, Pasaka number 3. Welcome. We're gonna get to you very shortly. Just need to fight Sif and the 4 kings. 7 whole head? A lot of Pasaka. Oh my god, you get a backstab with a piercing weapon this time. That's crazy. Hope you enjoy it. I don't remember what the next piercing weapon I have planned is. Actually, I don't know. I have the polls like planned out right now, but I could absolutely leave it up to a vote, like what weapons we actually want to see in the next poll, as opposed to, because the way I have them now is there's like one heavy hitter, or what I assume will be a heavy hitter, which sometimes just isn't for no reason. Like there were some polls where I was like, okay, this one is absolutely winning, so I'm gonna put this one here and then put the other 3 in as like a kind of a filler so that I can kind of, you know, make the poll a little bit lopsided, because I do want to really use these weapons that nobody's gonna vote for. And then one of the weapons that I thought nobody was gonna vote for won by far over what I expected to be the winner. So I might just kind of leave it up to what people want to see rather than what I want to use, and also one that people want to see, because I'm just wrong about it a lot of the time. Actually, while we're climbing this ladder, I can open up my document and read off what we still have left. If my phone would work. Hello? Give us an example of things I got wrong? I don't remember, to be honest. Okay, the polls that I have planned out are Stone Greatsword, Rapier, Reinforced Club, Great Scythe for 1, which I expect the Great Scythe to win by far. Dragon Greatsword, Falchion Spear, Pike for another one, which I expect the Dragon Greatsword to win by far. And then Stone Great Axe, Dragon Slayer Spear, Mailbreaker, Silver Knight Spear. And of those, I'm not really sure which one to win. Your shields. Those are all the weapons that I'm planning on streaming that I haven't streamed yet. Both the Scythes, yeah, I used Life Hunt Scythe a long time ago. That one was really fun. For the other like runs I want to do that I am planning on doing videos on instead of streams, I have Great Bow only and Crossbow only, which are absolutely going to be videos and not streams. I have Black Knight weapons, so all 4 Black Knight weapons in New Game, New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus, New Game Plus Plus Plus, which absolutely won't be a stream. But I could also definitely do all the Black Knight weapons in separate streams instead of that. I have the Artorias Greatswords with the same thing. I have Silver Knight Spear in both. I kind of want to do a video for the Silver Knight Spear, but the reason I have it in a poll is so I can have 4 choices for all the polls to just kind of balance it out. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Parrying Dagger as its own weapon, or as its own video, because using it as a weapon in a stream does not sound like a good idea. Dark Hand, which could be a stream. I could definitely see that being a stream, but it's also like not good, which is why I have it slated for a video. The Notched Whip and Guardian Tail, because you have to... Okay, for the Notched Whip, specifically, I'm absolutely making that one a video because I need to fight Ornstein and Smough with a +5 Notched Whip, which does not sound super fun, because it's in a painted world. For the Guardian Tail, though, I could absolutely see doing that in a stream. I don't know how terrible it is, though. And then, I want to do... Wow, that is not super great damage for what I expected off of Leo Ring. Probably should have Power Withined, but it's okay. And then I have, for Soul Level 1 runs, I have the Morning Star. I did Dragon Form, and I'm done with the recording of the Jagged Ghostblade SL1 video. I just need to write and edit that one. Record the audio for and edit that one, which I'm really not looking forward to writing that one. Just because I don't really know how to make it interesting, because it's just a Soul Level 1 run, which I did with the Dragon Form. So, I don't know. Yeah, those are all of the weapons that I have not used in a video or a stream across the entirety of YouTube. Let's go back to... You can't go back to Andre. Actually, because the Painted World sets your spawn in the Painted World, and then when you leave the Painted World, it sets your spawn at the beginning of Londo. So if you use a Homeward Bone after exiting the Painted World, even if you never rested at a bonfire, you get sent back to the beginning of Londo. Oh! Okay, I see the issue. I used Sun Skip. I don't know why... Like, yeah, I could go kill the gargoyles in Quelaag, but... I don't know. Doing Sun Skip makes the run more interesting, so that's what I'm doing. Any of the runs that I have slated for videos, or a lot of them are absolutely going to be videos with no way I'm doing them as a stream. But for some of them, like Dark Hand, I'd be happy to do them as a stream if people want to see it. And for all the stream ones, if there's one that stands out as one that you like really want to see or whatever, I'd be happy to put that in the next poll, which I'm actually going to put up after the stream today, if anyone has any suggestions. Otherwise, I'll just go with what I currently have as the planned polls. 3 weeks of streams left, by the way, for new weapons. And I'm still going to do... I'm going to redo a few other streams. Like, I'm going to redo Velka's Rapier. I'm going to redo the Scythe, the Bardiche Scythe, not the Great Scythe, because that was my first stream, and I think it'd be fun to, like, end off on that one. I'm going to redo the Dragon Bonefist run, because I really did not give that one a good opportunity. And there was another one that I was going to redo, but I don't remember what it was. You do need to finish Demon Souls quicker. I also... I don't know. I'd be happy to, like, do streams of weapons that I did a long time ago. Like... Hold on. No, wait, stop. Okay. Like, I'd be happy to do a stream for, say, the Chaos Blade or the Life on Scythe, which I used a long, long time ago, you know? I think those would be fun. That man got grabbed. Poor guy. I should Power Within. Do I have a chance to Power Within here? I don't know if this is long enough. I shouldn't have done that. It worked out. That's so unfortunate, actually. Am I hurt? The tracking magic is tracking. Okay, I need to heal. That's crazy. I also need to unequip that. Ah! You in the future? Yeah, apparently. Okay. I might RTSR instead of Power Weapon, depending on what the damage is like. The bot crystal weapons? Okay, so the reason I wasn't planning on doing crystal weapons is because I did the Crystal Greatsword only run a while ago. I did Can You Beat Dark Souls 1 with only a single Crystal Greatsword? And it was kind of really uninteresting because the durability mechanic didn't matter. Because I wait, where am I going? Why am I here? Because what I did was, um, I got the Eastwood grain ring, and then it didn't matter at all. Uh, so if I did the straight sword, like that might matter a little bit more, but as long as I get power then, it's just like not gonna matter. So I don't think that would be a very interesting thing to do at all, really. Um, I don't know. Could do like a crystal knight build or something, but I don't think that would be that interesting of a gimmick, to be honest. I was also gonna do can you beat Dark Souls with only the Crystal Halberd, which has, I think it has more durability, actually. It's either slightly more or slightly less, but it's not a dramatically different amount of durability from the Crystal Greatsword to like matter, especially because I'd be able to repair it with chunks as I went through the game 5 times, which is just like extremely unnecessary. So I didn't really do that run because I thought that the Crystal Greatsword would have made a better, more interesting video because you can never upgrade it. And in my opinion, it did make a better video than what I was going to do with the Crystal Halberd. Oh, I don't know. I don't think the Crystal Straight Sword itself would make too much of an interesting difference. But I could definitely try it. Just to, like, have the accolade of having used every single weapon, you know? That'd be a really interesting run, actually, because I'll just do Depth Clip and then not have to upgrade it ever. Gotta carry 5 of them? No. Doing it with just one would be funny. Oh, that hurted. Don't get hit by that one. And then don't get hit by the ghosts either. Okay, I need to put humanity here so I can heal. Power within. Okay. He didn't magic this time. That's a good sign. That's not terrible. Whoa. That's really not terrible. What the hell? Okay, counter damage. Jesus. The reason I like using RTSR on the Four Kings is because it's extremely easy to get into RTSR range with the sour spot damage. So if you just like stand right up next to them, none of their attacks do very much damage. Oh. Which makes it super easy to get into RTSR. Whoa. Jesus, 634 damage. Extremely normal amounts of damage here. RTSR would probably be funnier. Hyper mode? Huh? Oh, the counter damage doesn't apply to the full health bar. That makes sense, but that's unfortunate. Okay. We'll get there eventually. For my first couple playthroughs, I did do the poise through everything strat, and I don't know, it made the fight really easy, but I also had like 40 or 50 vitality. No, I didn't have that much. I had a lot of vitality though. I think I had like 30 or 40. I had a lot. Which made it work extremely well. Yeah, first actual Four Kings because the counter damage doesn't apply to the full health bar. That's the only reason. That's really funny. Okay, good fight. I have not done the Stone Great Axe. That was actually slated for the final of the next 3 polls. Trust thine flesh to me. Yeah, yeah. Okay, level up. Let's get 20 vitality. Warp to enter Londo. Pasaka time, almost. Okay. Put this back on so I can wear a bit more. I might put on Ring of Favor after Lost Izalith, just because at that point, all I want on is the Leo ring, and Ring of Favor should give me more than enough equip load to wear the gold hem set. Not that I actually really care about the damage negation, but of how the weapon looks. I don't. That's the one from the Guardians, right? Or the whatever they're called in the DLC. In my recollection, my very weak recollection, because I've never paid attention to it, it looks like the Demon's Great Axe, very similar to, but I don't remember. I'm actually kind of excited for the Stone Greatsword. I think the Stone Greatsword will be interesting, just because I really like greatswords. It might be an Ultra, I don't remember. But I really like the look of the Stone Greatsword, so I think that'll be fun. Could put the Stone Greatsword and the Great Shield, not Great Shield, the Stone Great Axe on the same pole next week. Maybe put on the Great Scythe and something else. Does that count as counter damage or instability? Or either? Heavy attack of the Great Axe is any good? No idea. Yeah, shockingly good for the boars, but I assume they're not particularly resistant to piercing damage. Resting damage? I always forget the difference, or I always forget what it's called because it's different in the different games. Archives. Archives indeed. Whoa. Everything's okay. These guys are scary, but not particularly dangerous right now. Archives in Terrobang? Ah! Oh, that was buffed too. Okay, that wasn't that bad in terms of damage. Let me heal first. Don't get too cocky here. The shoulder check will kill me, probably, from a buffed one. Okay. But we don't get the chance to find out, and that's the way I like to keep it. I hate how much damage the shoulder check does. It's cool, because it keeps you on your toes, but I hate it. It's so frustrating. As soon as we get to Seath, while I'm letting him do his thing, I am going to go use the restroom real quick. But first, we gotta obliterate the crystal man up here. How do you get the crystal armor? You find it here, right? You buy the shield from the sword and shield from Domhnall. Forgot his name. And then you find the armor here. Prepping for the Pasaka. That combines with everything that's happening. Yeah, okay. I'll be right back. I need to use the restroom. Wink, wink. I need to... Hey. Okay, now I'll be right back. I am back. Creepy ambience. Ambiance. Yeah, let me put my brace back on real quick. Ah. This is tragic. Pisaka suspense. Oh, there's a reason they're called Pisakas, you know? Okay. The Velcro got all tangled up in itself. Hold on. There we go. Hey. Hello, Manu. I'm back. I'm kind of surprised that was a one-shot. Here we go. Hi, Shoai. He is pretty cool. He's one of my favorite NPCs. Okay, there she is. Ah! Oh, I don't have fast roll, hold on. That was horrifying. Don't lose track. One on the left right now. Okay, all of them have taken damage except the important one. That's not good. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. That'll make this easier. Okay, hold on. You're getting a little overeager. I need to get rid of everyone else first. I need to be a little bit careful here. That's not good. That's not good. Help! Okay. I got grabbed by the wrong one. This is unfortunate. Hold on, we can fix this. That guy's a prick in the lore? I mean... yeah. But... most characters are. So... getting cornered and stuck between two Pasakas. Oh no! How could this happen? True. Hold on. We gotta fix it. If I power within, I will one-shot them, which is a dangerous game. But if I do this right, should be okay. Just don't lose track of that one right there in the middle. This is important. Oh, they stop attacking you when you're not, like, actively in the room, huh? I did not know that. That's a lot more sad than I thought it was. Okay. Not the right attack. That's also not the right attack. Also not the right attack. Hold on. You got this. I believe in you. Still not the right one. There we go. Okay. Everything has been fixed. There are no more issues. I just need to backstab. Oh, you're ready. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Everything has been fixed. The world is now in balance again. True. Not the longest, but it's long enough. Oh god. It's okay. It's worth it. Particularly because I can do this. When the game loads. Ugh, I hate how the second one runs past. I hate how they I don't know. I wish they attacked me so I could just get rid of them and not have to deal with them anymore. Anyway, nothing to see here. Yeah, I tapped out to open DSI gadget, so I didn't have to spend 10 minutes running down the stairs doing nothing. Again? Why do you think I went to the bathroom? Oh, hi. That was scary. Okay. Let me survive first. And do the thing I actually need to do. Yeah, that roll attack is really nice. I'm glad it's not just like a faster poke or something. Does this game have rolling and running strong attacks? It does not, no. At least not on the spears. Oh. No! You know what? I know, it's kind of hard to complain about this, actually. That's the best I can do. You turned around too quickly. Okay. Will he notice me? You were part of it. You just weren't the... You know, you had to get someone else a turn. Wait, where's some... Kasaka number 1 and number 2 are both... I don't know, I killed them. On the stairs. They're somewhere in that gaggle of Pasakas. Other Pasaka numbers, but you two won't let me? That's unfortunate. Just the concept of like a harem of Pasakas. My favorite Dark Souls anime. Dark Souls, but I have dementia? I have not. I have been recommended it on YouTube, but I haven't watched it. I don't know. I tend to not watch Dark Souls content super often. And when I do, it's something like Illusory Wall. But I don't know. Oh, come on. Now we get the longest hallway in the game. Wow. That's a different concept than what I expected. I thought it was just someone playing Dark Souls and making jokes about forgetting stuff the whole time. Okay. You know, I feel like this doesn't dramatically change the experience, so I'm happy to do this for the Crystal Caves in particular. This is just kind of how this area is anyway. humanity is called. Okay, so like the Google Translate bit. I see. Okay. Hopefully we can get in without a clam, but if a clam does get in, we get to see the clam break the crystal, which is funny. Get this one to come up a little bit and run. That doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound like we're gonna get off scot-free here, but we'll see. We're within. I don't see a clam. Normally I'd see a clam by now, so I'm just gonna assume that there is no clam. I need more stamina. I say as I shred half his health bar before he gets the chance to attack. This might kill me, by the way. Get up. Heal. No. God damn it. Almost. See, this is why I have the SR gadget installed. Clamless is your current state of being. I have a... So, if you don't know, I do have a TikTok account. I post some of the stuff that I like post on my YouTube Shorts or whatever. Most of what I post on TikTok is just random stuff I find funny. Like I have a video of Sir Galahad from Sonic and the Black Knight rotating in a microwave, just cuz. And then I also, this morning, or last night, Jesus, words are hard, uploaded a TikTok of just like Skate 4. And I crashed, the bit was a crash. And somebody commented a clam show, which I assume has to do with that bit. But I'm really not sure. Whoa, that goes that way? I didn't know it went that far behind him. That's kind of scary. YouTube against a ball crushing? That is pretty lame. That is unfortunate. You know, maybe I should get him now, so he's not pressing me against a wall when he uses his crystal explosion. Counter damage, that's what we like to see. Okay. Okay, everything's fine. There we go. I probably could have greeted that out and not had to wait for that next attack opportunity, but probably a good thing I didn't, admittedly. There's my bloodstain. I don't know how many souls I have in there, probably not many. None. Oh no, 33,000, okay. Not none. See, that's my least favorite thing in Dark Souls 1. Which is really unfortunate. Because I like pretty much everything else in Dark Souls 1. Yeah, the only way to avoid damage from it is to just sprint away. You can't in the first room, like where you first encounter Seath, because the room is too tiny, but yeah, you can there. YouTube won't let you speak your gospel of ball crushing? Just always tanked it. Every single attack in Dark Souls is dodgeable, as far as I know. Aside from that first Seath encounter. Although me will be thrusted relentlessly. Through. It's complex over being soft and meaty. I do too, but it's positive. All I'm gonna say is it's not my fault when, like, 30... Where did that number come from? When, like, a lot of people just kind of call me a goddess. It's not my fault, but it's there. Oh god, that's fine. Wish you had that kind of stamina. Same. Me too. That's exactly what I mean. It's not my fault. Pardon me. Sometimes I forget the resistance is even a stat in Dark Souls, and then I think about it. Like, I am reminded that it is, in fact, a stat in this game. And it's like the meme stat that you should never, ever, ever level up. I don't know how I feel about that. Can't say anything on YouTube. What are you trying to say about Calamite? Hold on, I'm actually going to switch my chat view to live chat so I can see what you're saying about Calamite. Full following of 30 people has been leaked from legal name Solar the Pellets, though. I can't believe it blocked Colt. Carnally craving Calamite's Calamite. I think it's so funny that people just like keep saying stuff that gets censored. And then other people say things that should absolutely be censored and don't at all. That's my favorite bit from these streams. The things that do and don't get censored. Oh my god. That's crazy. Jesus. Okay. I might try to... I might try to stream more Sonic 06 tomorrow. I'm not sure if I want to wait till Tuesday or if I want to do another stream tomorrow, because I do want to play more of the game on stream. I had a lot of fun with that. I think it's less the thirsting over Calamite and more the public exploration of your carnal desire of Calamite's Calamite, you know? The Cabra demon that was chasing me died. Ow. Owie. That hurt. Really bad. Okay. There aren't very many that I think of in that way. The exceptions are Pisakas, dragons, and the Asylum demons for very obvious reasons. And also a lot of the NPCs. Smacked by Big Worm live on stream. That's what the 10K special is gonna be. Oh. My bike is lucky. Oh, that's not good. That might kill me. Oh my god. Stop doing that. Do the goddamn jump attack or something. Thank you. Jesus. Oh my goodness. Come back. I swear to God. Does the running attack do 2 hits, actually? I don't think so. I swear to God. Why is he running away so much? One more. I'm sure there are lesbian dragons. Hair-shaped demons. The best shape for demons, really. And a really good shape for women. I say as I have no bias for that whatsoever. Okay. What's our AR at? 387? That's a little bit lower than I expected, but I guess it makes sense. Because of the very low strength that I have. Ah, Caligo. Oh my god. Caligo. He gets me going. Noster? Noster might be my biggest FromSoft Hear Me Out. Not that it's a Hear Me Out by any stretch compared to a lot of other Hear Me Outs. It's just like, if I got a choice, it would be Noster. Like, she literally impregnates you in the middle of the fight. You know what I mean? Anyway. Okay, yeah, that's only 1 hit on the running attack. Uh-oh. What is you walking on? Welcome, Trophy, to the very extremely normal Dark Souls stream with nothing weird going on. Look, it's not my fault that they made the moth boss the prettiest boss they've ever made, okay? Fat fuck fall. Get yourself a BBW. Welcome back, Chop Liver. Yeah, you know, things change. Especially around here. I was not expecting that to hit me. I should have gone sideways. Taking a shower. Okay, well. Caligo is a very close second. I actually love Caligo as a fight, but she's also incredibly pretty, especially with the music. That fight is insane. I love Caligo's fight a lot. And aesthetics is really a huge reason why. I think the Nostra fight is also really fun. Yeah, the Pasakas. That was the catalyst for this. No biases whatsoever, Lily. I feel like you wouldn't need to, like, point that out if you didn't have any biases. I don't know. Oh my god, the Pasaka in question. That's crazy. Who gets to say girl pee completely uncensored by YouTube, despite A lot of things being censored that probably should not have been censored. I'm gonna heal so I don't die because of power within. It does still work. I would have been surprised if it didn't still work, to be honest. Okay, get me out of here. Don't love how squirrely it is. I don't know. I'm a Wilder main, personally. And when I'm not playing Wilder, I'm playing either Duchess, Iron Eye, or Recluse, who all have ranged attacks most of the time. So her movement doesn't really bother me that much. In fact, I like it quite a bit because I get to use the grapple as Wilder a lot. I've actually been playing Revenant a lot recently, and I've been hesitant to even try Galago, because I have a really good fire build on Revenant. And, okay. Revenant is really bad if you use her Remembrance stuff. Her Remembrance stuff is really, really bad. But if you just build for one specific element, she's way better. I have Flaming Strike on the claws with fire damage +4. It's very fun. Found that wall. I'm glad I switched to live chat on my view, because now I can actually see what you said. It's unfortunate that got stopped. That's very funny. That didn't get stopped. Testing the limits of the YouTube chat. You know, I'm not gonna elaborate, but Vin, I have actually seen that. Unfortunately. Was it unfortunate? I don't know. Not my thing, but I guess it's not unfortunate. Excuse me? Excuse me? Come back. She's running away. Thank you. Oh yeah, there's art of that. That did get stopped, but I can see it. I don't know, I can oblige. Even if YouTube can't. Oh, Van, are you not aware of what I'm referring to? The water bending thing. There is indeed fan art of that. What did you think I was referring to? True, all the Night Lords are very... Yeah, I agree, generic name. Waterbending with milk. Oh, that milk. Or... I thought it was like a funny bit, and not like that kind of thing, but I'm kind of assuming it's that kind of thing now instead. Up against a wall thing? What up against a wall thing? I think the I think the least queer Night Lord is probably Fulgur. Actually, I don't know. I don't like Fortis. I don't hate Fortis, but Fortis, he doesn't strike me as queer personally. Noster is our bisexual queen. in an open relationship with a straight boyfriend. Ilka bending. Bosses are hot. I really love Night Rain. I have over 300 hours on it. I don't know, I'm still loving it. I think it's a super fun game. All the bosses are really fun as well. Okay, what I got left is Nito. A lot of the characters are really fun. The only characters I don't enjoy are Guardian and Executor. All the other characters I've had fun playing, even if they're not, you know, like particularly good relative to some other characters. Like the game isn't super well balanced, admittedly, but you can still have fun with any of the characters on any of the bosses, in my opinion. Unless you're playing Solo Recluse, in which case it might be a little bit rough. Neato. You sorry fool. I think I stole that from Lobos, like a long time ago. Yeah, Wilder's super fun with the grapple and like the movement you can get out of it, especially with the follow-ups on a relic. It's so much fun. Meta issues? Oh, you mean like how FromSoft is selling out or whatever? I could not care less about FromSoft as a company, so as long as I enjoyed the game, it's whatever. FromSoft has been making fewer and fewer games that I enjoy recently, so it's just like, I don't know. I'd rather play indie Souls-likes than FromSoft Souls-likes at this point. But I have a lot of fun with Night Rain, so I don't really care. I don't know, Prison of Husks is shaping up to be pretty cool. I played the demo, and I think I did everything. Oh my god, a Skull Lantern? Wow. I think I did everything in the demo for Prison of Husks, and that was really fun. I really liked Limesia, and Liza P was alright. I really liked Steel Rising, that one was fun. So, you know, FromSoft as a company is take it or leave it. Like, I have negative interest in Duskbloods, for instance. Partially because it's, you know, Switch 2, but also partially because it's just, like, not my style of game, and I really don't care. Oh, I don't care about the lore at all, either. Like, it doesn't affect the previous games at all, so... It's, like... by design in a different timeline now from base Elden Ring, so it doesn't even affect Elden Ring. It doesn't affect any of the other games. It's just kind of what it is, and it's fine. Yeah, I want to do more Revenant runs. I'll probably do that after stream if I don't end up getting sucked into Sonic Unleashed instead. We'll see. Sonic Unleashed, specifically. 4 whole hits, no counter damage. And no power within either. Mask of the Father. I think if your equip load is too low, Mask of the Father actually doesn't increase your overall equip weight because it's percentage based. I will read chat in just a moment. I need to make sure I don't fall off a ledge randomly, unfortunately. I should play Revenant after stream. Okay. I'm sure you have no bias toward that whatsoever. I did get a lantern, but I'm not going to use it. That's boring. Fortis? Fortis, the ultimate move or whatever for Fortis in the Everdark is Animus possessing it. I think Noster is queer, and Animus is definitely queer, but Fortis doesn't do it for me. But then I would feel embarrassed. It'd be funny, but at my expense. Oh, Fulgur? Did I say Fulgur? Okay, yeah, no, that's her. Bolger started as one of my least favorite Night Lords. Now he's kind of one of my favorites. I don't know. My opinions of all the bosses have kind of changed a lot. I think Gladius is like a middle of the road in terms of how much I enjoy it. Augur and Noster used to be my two favorites by quite a wide margin. I still like Augur, but it doesn't hold its replay value as much as the other Night Lords, as much as it was super, super fun to figure it out and to play it the first several times. Noster is still up there. I still really love Noster. Just because of how the two bosses interact with each other and how you can block a lot of Noster's attacks with Fortis. That's super cool. Adele started as one of my least favorites, but I've come to really enjoy it a lot. I don't know. Bolger, like I said, was one of my least favorites. Now I enjoy it a lot. Holster is... I don't know. I go back and forth on Holster. I don't super love the Holster fight because it just kind of feels like Elden Ring roll slop, which in my opinion is significantly worse than Dark Souls 3 roll slop. And then Libra, I've also kind of gone back and forth on. I really like Libra now. I didn't really like Libra, and sometimes I just have the worst possible fight with Libra and don't have fun at all. So, I don't know. Most people don't like Augur, which makes me sad, because I think it's a really cool, interesting fight. You know, field booking is actually useful here. That's crazy. Wow, maybe not. Wait, why did I un-two-hand? What? Okay, whatever. Everdark Gladius is really cool, but also insanely overtuned. If Everdark Gladius did less damage, it would probably be one of, if not my favorite boss, but right now that's Everdark Fulgur, because I think he's perfectly tuned, and it's also just like a really fun fight. I might get here. I didn't. Come on, one more. Greed. It paid off. Okay. Yeah. He's been using it a lot in a lot of my more recent fights with him. A lot more than usual. Or a lot more than he used to, anyway. Nito has been obliterated. Thank you for the the celebration emojis. I appreciate it. Hello, Loot Crate. Welcome. DLC time. This weapon is performing a lot better than I expected it to, if I'm being honest. I expected, like, really lackluster damage. Like, admittedly, I'm using Power Within, which helps a lot, but... I don't know. I expected worse damage. Not Calamite time yet, but we will be doing Calamite. Everdark Gladius does too much damage for how fast it is. I don't even think it's necessarily the speed. I think it's more just that because a lot of its attacks, not even like its super ultimate sword in the sky, fuck you move, but a lot of its like really basic slashes will one-shot like half the characters in the game. That's kind of more my problem. Not too bad. That's fair. I think, yeah, Noster is a really, really good duo fight. Personally, I prefer Luddensallen for a couple reasons. Mostly just because I prefer Dark Souls 2 over Night Rain in a lot of ways. But also because of the... Well, I don't know, actually. I might prefer Noster. I do really, really love Noster. That's a lot of emojis. How fast will the Sanctuary Guardian be? Probably pretty fast. That's not at all the button I meant to press. That's not counter damage. Okay, if I can actually hit the boss, it might be kind of fast. But for now... Oh my goodness. That was a lot of damage. Follow up. Counter damage, or I mean instability damage, more precisely. It doesn't usually use this twice in a row. That's fair. Probably an unsafe heal, but it's fine. Bonk. I don't think I like Ava, because it's not... I don't know, I like Ava. I think Ava is like an A tier boss, but a lot of that is because of how it prepares you for Ludden. Love that I make the character hurt sound. I don't know why I do that. It just kind of happens. Yeah, the roar dealing damage and coming out so fast is really annoying. I wish I had a better tell. Maybe a slightly longer tell. I kind of want to do more night range streams, but I don't know. People don't really watch it, and when I can just like play on my own and get a similar experience, or play with friends, you know, and get a similar experience, it's like, I don't know if it's really worth streaming a lot of the time, because I do know some people really like watching them, but it's also, I don't know. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more, but probably not too many. Damn, after like 3-4 more months of Dark Souls 1 streams? That's so few. That's like an era of my life coming to an end. It's kind of weird. I mean, we still got a few more months, but that's so crazy to think that I've done that many streams on this game. I played through this game that many times to have used every single weapon. I don't know. Yeah, more Sonic streams. Those will be fun. I think you might be cooked. I don't know. I think that's considered more cute than cooked. Every single spell. Can I beat Dark Souls with only Soul Spear? No, thank you. I don't want to do that, actually. I forgot I haven't upgraded my Estus at all. That's fine. Whoa, shield poking is useful for dogs? I straight up did not see the dog at all. I like glanced over at chat and I looked back and I was taking damage. That was horrifying. My whole life flashed before my eyes. Bonk. It's crazy that a buff for Guardian in Night Rain also applied to all the enemies. The improved shield, like, angle on enemies is so annoying when you're playing Iron Eye. Easily the worst update they've done. Telling me dogs learned the Dark Souls 3 dog teleport. Yeah, they learned. They went forward in time. You killed every single enemy in Dark Souls 2 Scholar like 15 times? That's insane. All of them? That's actually crazy. I wanted to do that, but it takes so long. It took me like 3 hours to get through the forest of Fallen Giants. Insane. Chameleon only. Dropped your laptop. It's weird that it typed out those specific words, but I get it. A few areas that respawn infinitely. Oh yeah, like the PvP areas, huh? I forgot about that. Dark Souls 3 double doors, the 5-minute door opening animation to Night Rain. They should, that's true. Okay. I don't know why I picked that up. Pure instincts. Artoria shouldn't be too bad, probably. Who wouldn't win? I mean, like... I feel like you're a little more bashful about this than you need to be. And especially in our company, like, I don't know. What? Already? Can I break him out of this with this weapon? Okay, only 3. That's surprising. Whoa. Oh, the door weapons? Why not the Dark Souls 2 ones? The better ones. Orma and Reeves. Unless there are ones in Dark Souls 3. The Pasaka is still at it. Reminds me of the Gaint situation. Understandably, Pasaka. The doors originated into. That's where the first door weapon was. You needed to play more Dark Souls 2, to be honest. Little goofy goobers. The blowheads. That's a P. Really? I used to be one shot with the instability damage. Wait, that killed me. I'm gonna die when I load back in. Damn it, I was too late. It might have been a frame perfect put out, actually. I'm not sure. Your standards are unfortunate for some people. I'm not some people. I just realized how that could come across. I'm not gonna elaborate, actually. I'm gonna stop talking about that before I get banned off of YouTube. I don't know. I'm happy to elaborate in other places, but not on YouTube. Anyway, if you didn't know, I have a Discord link in the description. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is very, very good. I highly recommend actually playing it and, like, enjoying it. What candy are you eating, then? I cannot say we share this experience. Ooh, Dark Souls 2 is the best one. What if I get the bloathead helmet? Like, I would love that. That'd be awesome. Still haven't finished Dark Souls 1? It only takes like 3 hours. Hahaha. Don't mind me finishing level 1 challenge runs in 5 hours with all bosses. It's not like I've played way too much Dark Souls or anything. That'd be crazy. Oh my god, I forgot. I didn't let this one fall down. Forgot it actually stays up here if you don't lure it down by grabbing the rubbish down there. That scared me. Finishing? Oh, blowhead helmet. This is tragic. Jawbreakers? That might be the difference. I don't like jawbreakers. I had like one as a child and just did not enjoy the experience. I highly recommend replaying Demon Souls. I've played it, I don't know, I've probably beaten it like 15 times at this point. I really like it. I love Demon Souls. It's a very, very good game, especially for the time it came out and like how much they experimented with it. The tail cut on Seath is really easy to get if you let him break the crystal with the crystal breath. Like you let him come up to the crystal and use his crystal breath attack. And he'll break the crystal and he'll just sit there and spaz out for a little bit. And you can just run behind him and cut the tail off. It's super easy. And his tail will be, you know, toward the opening in the arena instead of in the wall, so. The Jawbreaker, what one might call the Calamite. Yeah. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 Scholar is significantly better than Vanilla. I I know some people prefer Vanilla, and I will never understand why. Like, the best reason that I've heard is the statue and Fragrant Branch placement, which, like, it's just better in Scholar. Like, there are more statues, but there are also way more branches placed everywhere, especially way more in the early game, which allows for way more routes through the game. Like, it's just, it allows for so much more exploration and so many more ways to play through the game, especially in repeat playthroughs, that it makes no sense to say you prefer the vanilla version because there are fewer statues when the statues that are there block your progression more. Anyway, don't mind me being extremely autistic about Dark Souls. Okay. Menace. Should be hopefully first try, but we'll see. Yeah, the Dull Ember being a lost bestie is oh my goodness. Jesus. It allows for so much more experimentation with builds and it makes it so much easier to actually use a build that you want to use instead of having to wait for one of what is usually the last of the Lord areas I go to. Awful. Like, Vanilla is not a bad game by any means. Oh, that's not the one I expected. Vanilla's not a bad game by any means, but, like, compared to Scholar, Scholar is just so much better. I don't think that's a safe attack opportunity. $900 damage! Whoa. I'm gonna drink. Jesus. That's a crazy amount of damage, actually. Oops. Okay. That's not good. That has a follow-up. I forgot. Okay, everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. Oh. It almost killed me, but everything's fine. First try. I don't remember if that was hitless. Because of comfort and familiarity. I mean, yeah, but if you just, like, play Scholar, you'll get to that point, you know? It's not even necessarily that it's cruel, it's just that it locks off progression in very, arbitrary ways that aren't fun to deal with. A little bit more vitality. And time for Calamite. After I talk to Goff. The sped up ladder climb animation is really funny. Dark Souls Girl B. Something that YouTube had no problem letting through. Oh, that's really awesome, Finn. I'm really proud of you. Oh, never mind. I see. You didn't actually type that. Good to know. This is the most normal Dark Souls chat, oops, that anyone has ever seen. Dark Souls stream chat. Nothing weird about this at all. Okay. Calamite. Hopefully we get a tail slammer too. I'm sure somebody's made like a Dark Souls dating sim parody game with the bosses. If not, I'd be surprised. Oh, we're getting one off the bat? Come on. Nice. There you go, Vin. Not bad damage. Oh, God. Okay. Everything's fine. Gonna pop one of those. Does that count as counter damage? Is 256 the counter damage? It is. Okay. Wait, is it not? Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Calamite didn't do his second tail slam because of that. Guarantee. It's because he said that in chat, Vin. I think at this point she's just trying to see how far she can push YouTube chat. Which is totally fair. Off X Calamite Yowie. Too far away to get the tail slam that time. Oh. Ow. What? That hit me? That's crazy. Stop it! Give me half a second. Jesus. Okay. I should heal. This is extremely greedy. Okay, this is fine. That is shockingly normal for even. Gow meat. I don't like the sound of that. That makes me uncomfortable. Gaw meat. Gaw meat is also uncomfortable sounding, but less bad. It doesn't feel like counter damage. I guess it is? I don't know. I guess the damage here isn't super great, but that's fine. It's fine damage. There we go. Hello. Yummy. Okay. Counter damage is like 302. It might have been from 2 hits that weren't counter damage. 2? I don't know. Assuming the role of a jawbreaker. Yeah. I don't think I'm the one that must assume... Or... I'm not the one who must imagine that, but I'm sure there is someone who must imagine that. And for some reason, I'm getting a sneaking suspicion that it might be you, Vin. Ooh, the Thiel sound shop. Calla meets Calla mouth. Um, Leo Ring is going to be worthless for this fight, so Hornet Ring it is. Alama. So peak that it was said twice, even. Okay, that's not terrible. Not as good as I would have hoped for, but not terrible at all. With Power Within, that should be more than enough damage. LP. True. You know, this might be, shockingly, this is a high standard. This might be one of the raunchiest streams I've ever had. Peace, Aka. Really. The only serious chatter. Yeah, true. Everyone else is just messing around. Being very unserious. The Pisaka is not a creature in Dark Souls 1. Next time I stream something other than Dark Souls 1, you can do that. Then it won't matter. Alright, Gwen. Be nice to me, please. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That is okay damage. No. God damn it. Come on. I misread it twice in a row? That's crazy. Then unfortunately, I don't think I possess the know-how to do that. Oops. If I could press the correct button. That's not the correct button. Ignore what's happening on your screen. There's nothing suspicious about that at all. When Cindy exists? Like Soul Cinder? You mean like the worst final boss in the series? I don't know. Tomorrow Sonic stream. Pizaka will be there. Okay, I guess I'm streaming Sonic tomorrow. I really do not like Soul Cinder. Soul Cinder is such an unfun boss to me. Like, the first phase has some of the worst attacks in the series. Like the charge spin attack that it has when it uses the spear. It has the homing soul mass, like status effect, so it just constantly has the homing soul mass around it, which is incredibly annoying. And then the second phase is just worse Gwyn. Like Gwyn, but if he was extremely easy and unfun. What the hell? Gwyn is being extremely mean here. Okay. Significantly worse Gwyn. You just spam roll through all his moves. I don't know. There we go. Come on, one more. Spear sucks, but other than that, you like them? I don't know. I don't like the mage moveset either at all. Or the second phase at all. And he has the move where he throws the lightning spear into the air and then you just run for a couple seconds and that's the whole attack. And it's just like, stop doing anything and run. Bang the massive souls. That's so real. Not my type, personally. I went over this in the Smasher Pass, but I get it. Favorite from boss? That's crazy. It's also the lore reason for it summoning Gwyn is really stupid. I hate that. I really don't like Soul Cinder. Bed of Chaos waiting? Because Bed of Chaos isn't supposed to be a high-octane boss fight. It's a puzzle. Cares about Dark Souls 3 lore. That's a good point. But that's just another thing on like the pile of reasons that I don't like Soul Cinder. Anyway, the weapon did better damage than I expected it to. Not by a dramatic amount, admittedly, but it did significantly better than I expected. Especially once I got Power Within, like the damage was not disappointing as much as it could have been worse if I had used a lot of other weapons, but it's probably the best spear, admittedly, which we'll figure out when I use the pike probably next month, if not the month after. Thoughts on Nashandra as a fight? I think Nashandra has a really interesting gimmick with the curse. If some of her tells are kind of dumb, and also breaking the curse orbs is also really inconsistent, which is very strange. But like, the fact that she's so minor as a boss is kind of a positive to me, because I don't like to fight, so I can just kill her really, really quickly, as opposed to Soul Cinder, where I actually have to try, and I'm just not having fun the whole time. Puzzle bosses suck, though. Skill issue. I love the puzzle bosses. They're some of my favorite things ever. I think they're so much more fun to engage with than just roll slot bosses. Calamite is pretty good. Calamite used to be my favorite Souls boss ever, but now it's Sanctuary Guardian. I always forget how gross the teeth are. I try to not pay attention to them, but now I am, and I don't like it. Anyway,
We are here to serve your highness.
oh my god. Yeah, and it's me. I like Lenzalin, okay? Alana is pretty cool. Worms. Don't call them that. Oh my god. I love you all. Hope you enjoyed. I don't remember what I usually say. I don't know how to end this.